Hi everyone, welcome to this video on how to crack big dream companies. I'm Shruti and I will be taking you through this video. So in this live session, we will basically learn कि कैसे हमें skills, क्या skills हमारी होनी चाहिए to crack the big dream companies, what should be the way, how should we go forward, what all things should we look for and कैसे हम सारी चीजें prepare करें. So what we'll do is we will just get started in 2 minutes. So हम इसमें ये सब देखेंगे कि कैसे क्या क्या skills है जो हमें चाहिए basically what all are the skills that thing we will talk about and then we will talk about resume कैसा होना चाहिए. Hi, good evening. So resume कैसे build करें, what all things do the companies look for in our resume. We will also see how and why is competitive programming important for these companies and what all other things, little things are important when we talk about such companies. So what we'll do is we'll just get started. I'll just share my screen. Okay. So here we are. So what we'll talk about is we will first talk about the skills. Okay. So what we'll do is we will first talk about the skills. So what are the skills that are important? Okay. So what are the skills? So basically the basic thing is the DSA, right? So when we talk about DSA, why do we say that it is so important, right? Why do we say that DSA ही करना चाहिए हमें? क्यों? Okay, wait, we have a comment already. So you're saying you have no degree. Can I get placement in big companies? Yes, of course. So there are ways to do that. I'll just come to that. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a while. Okay, so first let's complete some things and then in 5 minutes approximately we will talk about this. Okay. So yes, so when we were talking about DSA, in DSA, what all things are important? In DSA, of course, arrays and strings, right? So basically, isko to master kar lo. This is very important. Then further on, recursion is important. Then we talk about DP and backtracking is important, right? Then we talk about that there is greedy. Greedy is important, right? Greedy algorithms are important. Then we talk about graphs. So in graphs also, a lot of things are important in graphs. So in graphs, we talk about basically कैसे traversal करना है, that is important. What are the shortest path algorithms? Various of those algorithms are important. And DSA basically तुम DSA एक बार master कर लेते हो ना, तो after that even projects में बाद में help करेंगी. So we have a question where Heath is saying, if I choose Python as my main language, is it okay? Of course, it is okay. These companies do not ask for the language. They say ki whichever you're comfortable with, you go for that. And what you need to basically do is, you basically need to master one language, and in that language, whatever logic you create, वो आपको करना आना चाहिए. So we have another question. Should we do DSA questions by different approaches or CP with more tricky questions? Of course. So, of course, different approaches are always better. You should always look for the approach which has the most efficient one, the which has a less time complexity, less space complexity. So all of that is also required. So that of course you should practice. And CP में of course CP आप कर लेते हो तो जल्दी logic building तो जल्दी हो ही जाती है. So that of course is there. Now you're saying that you're working in a company right now. When is the right time to switch? So keep applying, right? So keep applying, and of course, once you're ready, you will be ready. That will be the right time to switch. So how can we manage coding and college? Please tell. So college, of course, in college also you will be coding, right? College में data structures तुम्हारा है subject. So in data structures, what you really have to do is, in data structures आपको आप प्रैक्टिस करो. जैसे आपके पास आपने लिंक लिस्ट करा है क्लास में टीचर विल जस्ट आर प्रोफेसर विल जस्ट से कि दिस ऑल इज देयर, ये एल्गो है, तो आपको क्या करना है, अब आपको वो एल्गो जाके कोड करना है. नाउ कोड ऑल द क्वेश्चंस ऑफ लिंक लिस्ट, how to reverse a linked list, how to do this, how to do that, all of that. So that's how you can um, do it. So then so there's this question where what all are the basic areas you need to focus on. That's what we will be talking about today, right? That's what we will be talking about. So I'm just gonna read out the comments and answer that, and then I'm just gonna share my screen again. So, um, okay, so it is not possible to remember whole DSA concepts. So which are the important concepts? So I'm gonna talk about those, and of course, in the description below, you will be seeing a DSA roadmap separately. So you can go ahead and check that out as well. I think that will be helpful for you. So, okay, so Sumit is saying that he has chosen Java as his main language. Is it good or I should shift? So Java is good, right? So it does not matter which language you're doing, C++, Java, Python, all of that is good. Java is also good. So just make sure you are, you know all the concepts otherwise. Okay, Vignesh. Vignesh, I'll be speaking in English as well as Hindi at times. So I think mostly English. All right. So is it mandatory to learn more than one language, and how much English is necessary? So so basically, see, more than one language, as in Python, Java, C++, it's not important to learn all of those. More than one, one is sufficient, because when you will be doing the coding challenge, एक language से, you will be able to do the coding, and then of course later on the concepts will be asked in the interviews, not like coding only. And how much English is necessary? By that, I think it depends on your actually how confident you are. If you're confident in Hindi, then go ahead and uh, continue the interview in Hindi. If you're confident in English, continue in English. It's about your confidence, your self confidence mainly. Okay, so we have one from 10th standard. All the best for your boards. So yeah, um, as a software engineer. Okay, so we will be talking about that today. And since you're in 10th right now, in 11th, 12th, of course, go ahead, take computer science, right? And then start from the beginning, start coding. So I'll be telling you some sites. You can start coding on those sites. Um, कौन सी लैंग्वेज से डीएसए अच्छा रहेगा? सो डीएसए के लिए व्हाट आई प्रेफर इज सी प्लस प्लस. नाउ दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन यू, राइट? सो दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन यू कि आपको कौन सी लैंग्वेज सही लगती है. थैंक्स दिया. Thanks, Suraj. How many months it takes to crack FAANG? So now that depends on you, of course. That depends on you कि आप कितना ज़्यादा how much discipline you have, right? That is the main thing. Okay, so you have to focus on it. Focus on what you're doing. Take out 2 hours or 3 hours in a day, and then just code, practice. Then you have to take care of your resume. So I'll talk about all of those things in this video. Um, if I spend too much time in one company, would it be hard to switch to big product-based companies? No, not like that. It's not like that. If you are spending some time in a company, of course, you will be able to grasp a lot of, technical stuff. So you will have some knowledge. And then if you switch, if you're ready for the switch, you program and do everything and then start applying. So that should be fine. Currently, bi-weekly lead code able to solve 3 questions in 20 minutes. So how to move forward about this internship session? So of course, lead code pe karo, that is brilliant. So I think this is fine. Keep practicing, you will get better. Okay, so you'll get better. Yes, Vasant, 6 months are enough, right? Java or CPP, I prefer CPP, Shruti. Um, but Java is also good in its own way. So it's not like Java ही करना है, CPP is करना है. I prefer CPP personally. And what if I only practice important topics of DSA asked in company? Yeah, I think that also works, but it's good to know all the basic concepts, right? So if you know all the basic concepts and then you move forward, it's all fine, of course. So many to prepare essay for FAANG, how many questions required to solve that code GFG. So make sure you solve at least 10 to 15 from each topic, right? Each topic I'm saying, not just like arrays and strings में से है तो आपने arrays का इतना कर लिया, sorting के भी कर लो उसके अंदर, right? In arrays, so do that. So what if as an experienced SWE, I don't have the experience in the recruiting company stack? So basically, you will get the training period, you will get all of that. So it's not like, as an experienced SWE, you should have experience, right? Since you're saying as an experienced SWE. In recruiting company stack, right? That depends now. If you're applying for Android, you don't know Android much, then of course that depends. So it will give you time to learn some stuff. Um, how many questions are required? So, okay, I have already answered this. All right, so I think Social, I've answered all your questions. How to manage college and DSA, I've already answered that. Keep practicing, coding, whatever is taught in the college, like in data structures. If you've been taught something, do that. Yes, so Anshi Sinha has a very valid question. So projects are very important. So I'll be talking about all of that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just get started. I think there are already a lot of comments flowing in. So I'll just get started and then we'll see the comments. Okay, so yes, we were talking about DSA. So I have written some of those over here. So what else is there now? Graph, recursion, DP, and backtrack, right, backtracking. And then we have trees, right? So in trees, we have BT, binary trees, and BST. So this is also very important. You should know how to traverse all of these. And then we have like bit manipulation, right? That is important. And then there are some, string algorithms also. That is also very important, right? And then we talk about sorting algorithms that are covered in arrays and strings. I think this is pretty much it. And then linked lists, of course, linked lists and all of those, stack and queues. All of this is important, right? So all of these are important. Now, when we talk about DSA, sometimes students are really, sometimes students are really, really afraid of DSA. So like how to do arrays and strings, how to do recursion, how to do DP and backtracking. And mostly people are afraid of recursion. No, I will say, पहले तो समझो that how exactly, recursion works. What way in memory, what happens in the memory. So all of that is important. And then what you have to also notice is the programming now. In DP and recursion, there are sometimes people get really, really confused. There are a lot of times like that. So make sure you give ample time to recursion and DP, of course. So this is important, and it is a lot of times I've seen that in a lot of companies, DP questions are asked, and especially a binary search. I've not written here, so binary search. So application of binary search is also important. That is also there a lot of times. So now apart from DSA, so we say DSA is important. I've got a lot of comments, regarding DSA. So when we say DSA, then what about Android app development? What about web development, right? What about competitive programming? And what about what is the so let's say MLAI, right? All of that. So what about those? So there are people who are just focusing on ML because TK, there's a lot of talks about ML and blockchain and all of that. So why is this important now? So basically, DSA तो आपने कर लिया, of course. DSA is needed. It will be asked in interview. It will be like all the coding questions and everything will be based on DSA, and all of that is fine. But then apart from that, you should master any one of these. Okay, any one of these. So if you let's say you call yourself an Android app developer, so Android developer, so then your Android app should be there on Play Store. So when if I am your interviewer, I should be able to see your project live on Play Store. Same way, if we talk about web developer, right? So then I should be seeing your project, whatever you have done, whatever website you've created, already hosted online. So that should be live, right? Same way with competitive programming. If you have been coding on CodeChef, or let's say any code courses or anything, so then in competitive programming also I should be able to see your rank properly. So this is very important, right? You should be highlighted. You should be, if you're an Android developer, you should be like, okay, I have done this and I have achieved this. So that should be there along with DSA. And otherwise, if you say ML, then ML ka theek hai, put your code on GitHub and it should be working. Okay, it should not be like it's not working. And of course, if you're putting anything on GitHub, right, it should not be copy pasted. Okay, so it should not at all be copy pasted. So let me just see some comments. um, Competitive coding, yes. So about competitive coding, it's nothing but if you, so Deepak has asked this. If you talk about competitive coding, then it is important that you do competitive programming in terms of ki logic padega, and you will be able to solve the questions in, comparatively less time than the others. So that's that. And you can code in on Code Chef and all of that, Code Chef, Code Forces, etc. So, and I see, right, thanks, Akshat. Okay, thanks, Pia. So my Mavendra has asked, I'm an EC student and will my assembly language knowledge be helpful? So of course there are some companies which are looking for a computer science engineer, uh, and if he has, let's say, easy knowledge. So let's say it's just an engineer they want. They want a person who also has knowledge of electronics. So in those, I think that would be very helpful. Now you have to see the what the company is. I mean, what the job requirement is. So Janvi, you're saying please provide a DSA question sheet for FAANG. So I don't have that prepared right now, but yes, of course, we can look for that. So then we have, okay, so I think one is already answered. Flutter is good, Sahil. Yes, Flutter is good. You can go for that as well. I have some friends who have made projects on Flutter, and they're doing very good. So yes, Flutter is good. I've already answered that. So if someone refers someone in FAANG, do we directly land an interview? There's an exam first. There is an exam first. So in all of that. So to get a good internship again, as we talk about a job, I think internship also it goes the same way. So we're just talking about that, and let's see. So we will talk about the. So you can in a way you can also talk about कि ठीक है, this is the way you will also be going for internship. So like do all of this, DSA कर लो, ये जो मैंने चार चीजें बताई, which is ML, uh, then Android, web development, and competitive programming. Do one of those, stand out, and then apply. Go ahead. Um, so yes, of course, you can switch to programming if you are an application support engineer. Start, so the best time to start is today, right now. So go ahead, start, and yes, you can land into a your dream company, and you can get placed. So that it can be done, of course. So now we've talked about the skills, right? So DSA course questions by Coding Ninja enough for FAANG? Yes, of course. DSA course questions by Coding Ninjas are enough for FAANG. And apart from that, there is Code Studio, right? Where a lot of questions are given, which have already been there in Google, Amazon, all of those companies, all the dream companies. A lot of the question bank is basically there in Code Studio. So go ahead and look at those. So there's this comment where you have completed your okay, so you're in your third year, and okay, what to do? So start, I will say start coding. Probably start with DSA, and then go ahead with whatever you're interested in. Let's say it's Android or web development. So first do all the programming, and then at least master in one of the skills, which is Android, be it front end, back end, doesn't matter, but master one of those and create a project. Okay, so do that. And okay, yes, of course, you can get full stack opportunities. So of course, you can courses from Code Studio, from Coding Ninjas. Yes, you can do that. How to master recursion. So as I was talking about recursion, I was just saying there are a lot of questions regarding recursion. So how to master it? So you will need some time to master recursion, at least 30 days, right? So first of all, the concept should be clear. It should not be like direct programming करने बैठ गए, not like that. So first of all, the concept should be clear. What exactly is recursion? How it works? How it goes into the memory? What exactly happens? All of that is to be understood first, and then go ahead, solve easy questions, from easy go to difficult, and then go ahead. Okay. um Yes, computer fundamentals are required, yes, because what I've seen is in the interviews they do ask about OS, DBMS, COA, and computer network. Stuff from there is asked. There's not any particular concept which you can focus on, but of course DSA to master kar lo, that is mainly important, and apart from that, you should at least pick up the important topics from particular subjects. It's not like only one concept I can tell you. There are multiple concepts. So as a beginner, where should we practice DSA? I will say go on a Lead Code or at Geeks for Geeks or Code Studios. There's a lot of online platforms now. So there, start as a beginner. So easy questions, you can do first, and then move ahead for the difficult ones, right? Okay, so this is a very nice question. You're currently in first semester. What should I master, app or web development? Now, app or web development, that depends on you. First of all, master coding, DSA master कर लो, data structures and algorithms, वो master करो, उसके बाद go ahead for either app, Android, whatever you like, right? So that all of that will be, somehow used over here as well. Because first you do the DSA, then object oriented also you can do, and then, of course, whatever project you will make, object oriented will always help you there. Okay. Yes, so this is a very nice question that you're in service based right now, and then you started learning DSN coding 1 month ago. So give 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours every day, and I think it should be enough to land into a product based company. That should be okay. Okay, so Rohit, I think I've already answered that. Stay tuned, and we'll talk about how to get a good internship. So when we talk about crack a big dream company, we talk about internship and jobs both, right? So let's talk about that, and we'll just move ahead now. So just a second, I'll just share my screen again. Okay. So what we'll do now is we will talk about the second thing, which is important. Now, second thing, and the second thing is, I think I've not got any comments on that, but second thing is on campus and off campus, right? So for some of you, there will be companies which will come on campus and you'll get placed. So that is sorted. Okay, on campus aage placement mil gayi because you'll have, a competition with some people only. Now, when we talk about off campus, how do we apply for off campus and what exactly should we be focusing on, right? So all of that. So we will be talking about off campus now. Keep off campus में exactly कैसे हम apply करें. So first of all, make sure you keep checking the career portals of all these companies. So you need to check the career portal, and as soon as you get an open position, apply for that. Now after applying, there are times when you do not get selected, or there are some things here and there that don't go well, and then there's no reply. So they just give you a thank you note, that thank you for applying, and we'll get back to you, but they never get back to you. So what to do at that point of time? So what you need to do is, on LinkedIn, okay, what you need to do is LinkedIn pe jao, find people from that particular company. Let's say you're applying for Microsoft, find people from Microsoft who are already working over there, and message, ask them for referral. So while asking them for referral, you can't just say that, hi, I'm Shruti and I need a referral in your company. No, not exactly. Now they will see your message and they'll be like, in what thing do you need a referral? Let's say you also say, okay, I want developer role. So all of that is fine, but they don't have enough time to go to the link and then do all of that. So search for the link, search for the open position, all of that. So what you need to do is go on LinkedIn, text them that I need a referral, give them the links of the current open positions. So that is required. Give them the links, and once you've done that, write a paragraph about yourself and send your resume as well, right? Once you do that, I think what they will do is they will directly have the link, and then they can give you a referral. So now there are also situations where they do not really reply, they don't respond much. So at that point of time, what we usually do is we spam with messages, we bombard the messages over there, and they're like, reply, we need a reply. So no, you don't do that. What you have to do is find other people also, right? In one particular company, it's not like there are 10 people only to which you have messaged. Message others also. So there will be some good people who will reply, and who will give you the referral. So that can be done. So this is the way you need to apply for off campus, right? So That's what you do on campus and off campus. So yeah, this I think is sorted. Now let's talk about the third thing. Okay, before we go to the third thing, let's just see some comments. How is career camp? I think that is brilliant. I think career camp gives you an opportunity to go and get placed in product based companies. That's pretty good. Um, yes, you are eligible to apply for these companies. They do give a job. What is the eligibility criteria? They do give that, and as far as I've seen, they do have MCA options over there. And okay, so you're in first semester. Which language you should learn DSA in C++ or Java? So again, I have been, I think, getting the same comment again and again. I think what is required is that you learn the concepts. Now, concepts in which language you do is up to you. If you're comfortable in Java, go ahead in Java. If you're comfortable in C++, go ahead in C++. So that doesn't really, matter much. But of course, according to me, I mean, I prefer C++ for myself because I'm more comfortable in that than Java. But Java in itself is beautiful. So of course. Um, computer system architecture is important for future. Okay, so it depends now. What exactly do you want to do in future, right? So if you want to become a software developer, and then I don't think it's very important. But of course, if you want to go ahead and do something else, in terms of computer system architecture, then do that. I mean, there are positions for which are dependent on this as well. So, but I think it's okay if you just pass the exam. And then internship tips for sixth sem. Keep applying for internship. I think this particular uh, live session over here is on the same thing. Internship plus jobs, to crack in these big companies, internship and job. But of course, in the other companies also, if you follow these steps to apply, how to apply, what all skills are required, which I've already talked before. Um, I think that should be enough, and you should be prepared to, apply for a company, be it internship or job again. So when the third thing is project. Now project is super important, right? What project you should do, what topic you should take, right? Project is very important. Now when we talk about projects, right, which project should we do is the question. Now it should not be like which project you should do. It should be like any project, right? Let's say you're interested in Android, you have mastered Android. Let's say you've not even mastered Android. Once you start doing the project, you will be able to learn a lot of things, how to debug. There will be one particular bug which you will not be able to solve first. Go on Stack Overflow, you will be seeing that, okay, so and so bug is solved this way, you will be able to solve. So all everything is there on Google. It's just how you Google it. So it depends on you. So you have to master that as well, how to search for something on Google. That is very important. And then of course, now project, right? क्या project करें, कैसे करें? So the most important thing is जो भी project you are doing, it should be unique. It should not be like, okay, this project is already there on, this is already online. I can just do this project and I'll get marks. So it's not like that. Once, whenever you put your project on a resume, on your resume, people will know that, okay, this project is already there, and they would have seen a lot of projects like that. So it should be unique. And the question is why you're doing that project, right? What project you're doing and why you're doing that project. Is that project really giving an impact to the society, on the society, or to your life only? So there are things like that, right? So this thing is very important. Whatever project you do, make sure it is live. Okay, at the end, it should be live. You're making a website on anything, be it anything, make sure it is live. Okay, if any Android project you're doing, make sure it is on Play Store. And again, if you're doing anything else, make sure it is on GitHub at least. The code should be there, it should be fully working. It should not be copy pasted, because people will get to know if it is copy pasted, right? So this way, I think project also is very important. And there's one thing I think I missed for off campus is, on LinkedIn, while you're asking for referrals, make sure you also connect with the HR of that company. Let's say Microsoft, you want to get into Microsoft, or let's say you want to get into Amazon. Of course, you can go see the career portal sites again and again, but make sure you're also connected with the HR, so that if he or she posts for an open position, you will be able to know that over there itself. And I think that's pretty much it. for off campus, and project again I told you. So yeah. Um, okay, so there's this I'm in 6th sem, just okay. So of course, start programming now then, right? Start programming in Java or C++, whatever you're comfortable in. Start programming, start doing DSA. And I think it should be good. You're in 6th sem, you still have time. Okay, you have 1 year. Um, okay, you're in BSc statistics student, but good in coding and logical thinking. Can I get into these companies for internship? Okay, so I think this question I got one more time and I forgot to answer that. So what you need to do is you need to stand out. Now, how do you stand out? If you're good in logical thinking, as you're saying, so your logics, you can create. So then go ahead and do competitive programming. I think that would be that would be beneficial for you. So competitive programming karo, make sure your rank keeps improving, and with the graph that you have, I think people will somehow notice you, and then they will come to you. So make sure you do that. So you need to stand out in these cases, right? Okay, so Manvendra has a question that you're in medium level DSA, web development, basic HTML, CSS, good JS and React. In CP, 3 star at CodeChef, want to get internship in a new company these summers, what should I do? So keep applying, see the career portals. I think there will be a lot of opportunities on Amazon. I think it is posted in May, June. So look for that, and I think there are opportunities. Right now, I think there are a lot of things on D2C, right? Dare to complete. I think dare to compete. So I've seen a lot of openings over there also. So keep applying there, and I think you will be able to grab an internship in a company for sure. And if you have medium level DSA, go ahead and master it now. I think it's high time for you. Stay motivated. Okay. Okay, out of Java, Python, C++, more effective for placements. See, so in C, you have to write a big code, right? So there's a lot of coding in C, but again, C is good for basics. But since you're talking about just placements, I think there's Java, Python, C++, which is good. So you can do any of those. It's not like one of them is better. The thing is, you should be able to create the logic. Otherwise, coding to आप किसी भी language में can do. So that is fine. Yes, you can get a job after BCA. Now it depends on you. You want to study further and do MCA or anything else, right? So that's on you. So let's move further now. We were talking about projects. Again, make sure your project is live on GitHub at least, okay? So that's done. Then what else, right? So what else? Now the fourth thing is resume. Now, when we talk about resume, what all should we do? What all should be there in our resume? So make sure, first of all, if you have less than let's say 5 years of experience, it should be just one pager, right? One page for less than 5 years. And then if you have more than 5 years, then you can have it 2 pages, okay? Like at max 2 pages. Now, when you have one page, make sure everything is already there, because people don't have time, to scroll down and check everything that you have done. They should be seeing whatever your achievements are, whatever your projects have been, whatever your experience is in one go. So let's say you write your name, your contact, and I mean, so of course, when you write your contact, make sure you also write your LinkedIn profile, I mean the link. And while you're giving the link, it should be a hypertext, not like you just write the whole link over there, right? Then there should be your experience, if you have any experience. Then projects are important. The education level that you have. Now, it's not very important that, in your education level, they want to see how much CGPA you have, or what, percentage you've had in 10th. They don't want that, but if you want to flaunt, go ahead and flaunt. There's no harm in that. Then again, once you've done the projects, make sure you write the important, your skills should be there, of course. Now, this is one way I'm just giving. It's not like you need to follow the same thing, but these should be there. The skills should be there. And then, what are your achievements? That should be there for sure. Now, when I'm talking about your achievements, it's not like, you put anything over there, right? It should be something that you're really proud of. If you're, let's say your scores, some score is there. So is that score good enough? I mean, first ask that yourself, because sometimes this is a sensitive thing, right? That for me, a score could be good, but that score exactly could not be good as a whole thing. I think you must have got what I'm trying to say. So that you need to take care. And of course hobbies and everything, I've seen people putting up that. So that's not very important. They don't really want to know if you're good in singing or reading books, if you like reading books. So they don't want all of that. So that's a big no no. Just go ahead and, I mean, remove that from your resume if you have it already. So okay, so there's this question for CP, we need C++ or Java. Both are good actually. Python, if you would have mentioned, I would have said no, but then CPP and Java, both are good. So do any, whichever you're comfortable in. Um, Keep your projects public actually, because of course then once you're, putting the links in your resume, it's important that everyone can see it. So I think that should be public. And one while we're talking about resume, while we're on that, I think, it's also important that whatever links you're putting should be working. Let's say in your project you've put a link of a website which is already live, and let's say the hosting of that website has already been, over, and you have not renewed it. Then also it's there in your resume. Go ahead and remove it already, or make sure that website is working again, right? So I think that's something you need to take care of. If you have any portfolio, right, put that over there, but make sure the link is working. And of course, if you're a front end, UI UX, and so make sure you have a portfolio ready. I think that's very important. Okay. Okay, so you don't have any internship and done projects in web development, sites, and backend. Will it be okay for placements? So again, you're good at DSA, okay. You're good at web development, you've done already some projects. Make sure these projects are online. If not all, one should be at least live, hosted already. And I think it should be good enough, because they want what you know already, right? So go ahead and apply for web development positions, right? So go ahead and do that. So yeah, I think this should be good. So you will be able to apply over there. So the next thing is, the next major thing we need to talk about is, after resume, is how to prepare now, right? So how is DSA to be prepared? We've talked about already what are the topics in DSA that are required. Now, how to prepare those is what we'll talk about. Okay. So when we talk about DSA, right? Just a second. Okay. So when we talk about DSA, what all is important in DSA we have already talked of. Now in DSA, it's important that you have consistency, right? Consistency is very important. So in this consistency now, just a second, I'll just reshare my screen. Okay, yeah. So consistency is important in DSA. If you're coding in DSA, let's say you're coding any sorting question, right? Any application on sorting, and you are not able to solve it. You have spent 30 minutes, or let's say 1 hour in sorting, and you're not able to solve a particular application sorting, particular question. Then what to do? Will you leave it in 1 hour? Okay, you can go outside, have some fun, but then come back, sit again, and try solving it. If you're not able to solve the logic in the beginning, which usually happens, if you're not able to solve the logic in the beginning, still stay focused, continue. You will be getting the logic in one way or the other, because if sorting is clear, and then you're not able to basically create the logic while applying this sorting, then consistency plays an important part over there. What you will be doing is, what you have to do is, you have to say that, okay, I will be able to do it. First, keep your notebook in your hand, and then start writing over there, start creating the logic. So there should be dry run first, and then you come here, and then write the actual code. So that way you need to code, because otherwise, DSA will always trouble you, and will always haunt you actually. So consistency and discipline again, so right, that is important. Now consistency and discipline to theek hai, but ye dikhayenge kahan pe, right, which sites? That is important for us. So first of all, I think lead code is something which is very important. A very, very, you will ask anyone, lead code is one site they will have in their heads every time. So lead code is very important. In lead code now, there are questions easy to hard, and then first start from easy questions and then move ahead. And I've seen good DSA questions in GFG as well, so you can go over there and code. And then there's Code Studio, which is a platform by Coding Ninja itself. There also, if you talk about the particular big companies, right? So I think the DSA questions for those are really, really nice. So you can go over there, filter them out, and do them as well. Or topic wise also, you can do that. So these, if you're able to do, then well and good. If we talk about after DSA, what you can do is you can do competitive programming, right? So competitive programming I've already talked about. But while you're doing competitive programming, make sure that you don't lose hope, right? Let's say DSA kar liya, after that you're doing competitive programming. Competitive programming mein for 2 months you're doing every other thing, right? Every other contest you're doing. So किस पे करेंगे ये we can do on Code Chef, right? You can go ahead and do on code forces as well, right? Now that depends on you, whichever you want to do both if you want. So the contest you can do all the contests, but after 2 months you feel like, okay, now I'm I'm good at computer programming, then what should I do now? I'll go ahead and I'll make a project. So no, if you're making a project after that, well and good, but then keep this competitive programming at hand. So after every, let's say, in a month, at least do 1 or 2 contests at least. I think that's important. You keep continuing competitive programming once you've started. That way only you will be able to get better at things. And of course, after this, I think it's also important that oops kar lena, because basics kar liye, uske baad oops bhi is very important. Oops is asked a lot of times, and a lot of concepts of oops. And then in project also, this will help you in project, whatever project you're creating. Oops will be very beneficial over there. Okay, so let's see some. I see some comments over here. Okay, so you're a first year student, how to go ahead with DSA? I think I've just mentioned that. So, first of all, make sure your concepts are clear, right? If you're doing any concept, make sure the concept is clear first before coding. Once the concept is clear, start the easy language, the easy problem, right? In any language that is comfortable, with you and that you're comfortable with, and then go ahead with everything else. I mean, lead code, GFG, or Code Studio, that depends on you. So is it okay if I take break for 3-4 months to prepare for product-based companies? Currently working in service-based for 1 year. I think it's okay to take a break, but then again, you should be well prepared after that, right? The preparation should be very good. Otherwise, what you can do is you can keep coding over here, and then you can switch. That's also is okay. And there's career camp by Coding Ninjas, and you can go ahead and see that as well. What they do is they prepare you for, I mean, whatever I've talked about over here actually, which is DSA, OOPS, competitive programming, projects, right? Be it web development, Android, and all of that. I think all of that is covered in career camp. So, hello world. This is important for first year students right now, and the 10th grade student that I think just commented. For learning Java, tutorial video is enough or not? So it should be enough, because in tutorial video what exactly will happen is you will get the concept. At least your concept will be clear. And of course, wherever let's say tutorial video, if you're seeing DS in Java, let's say by Coding Ninjas, we have this playlist. If you're seeing that, and keep commenting whatever your doubt is, and then they can get back to you. The mentors also can text over there. So of course your concept will be clear, and then what you can do is go ahead and code, right? Coding is important, practice is important, consistency and discipline is important after that. So it should be enough. Where are we going to use this DSA in IT and software culture? So first of all, if you know DSA, what they really have to see is that your logic is clear. You're able to solve any problem. So you're good at logic building. Then of course, if you're good at that, then in projects also we need logic, right? So that also comes with this. So that's what they want to test in you. So that's that. And DSA again is, I think, important in a lot of things, like OS also is important. So yeah, that will come into picture. Please create a session for Tier 3 student of EC branch to get 20 plus LPA package. Okay, so I think great. I think I'll give this forward. But I think for tier 3 college students, there's already one roadmap created to grab a good package. So you can look ahead for that, and it does not depend on the branch exactly. As I feel, it's not important that you're doing CSC only. तभी आपको कुछ अच्छा मिलेगा. If you're doing ECE, sorry, if you're doing ECE and you're good at DSA, then you can go ahead and you can uh, apply. So I think it should be okay. So see that roadmap. I think that should be there in the description below. So you can go ahead and look at that. Okay, so can you please tell how can I handle CP learning development skills along with college academics? So I think I've already talked about how to handle DSA. Apart from that, when we talk about CP and development skills, now it depends on you how much you want to do competitive programming. If you want to, after DSA do competitive programming, then contests are there. I think the contests are anyway in the evening, so you can do that. And learning the development skills also you can do, I think, in the evening. So I can't really give you a timetable, but of course, while you're free, you can do that, right? Okay. So how much question to practice? So I think it depends on you whether you should solve as many questions as you can from a particular concept, at least 15 to 20 for sure. Okay, thanks, Manvendra. Thanks, Karan. In Greek for Greeks, if you score good above 100 by solving BSc questions, is there any benefits of it? It will just benefit your knowledge that okay, you are good at that. So it's not competitive programming, right? That score above this much, you will get something. But in competitive programming, if you go and you get a good rank, I think that should be good for you, right? So that should be fine. Um, Okay, so how long does it take to learn DSA completely? Yeah, I think this is a good question. Now it depends, right, how much time you're willing to invest and how disciplined you are while doing DSA. So this is a really nice question, and I think there's already a DSA roadmap in the description, so you can look at that. While I'm on that, make sure you first clear every concept, right? And also the basic. Start from the basic, right? Start from the basic, then move to the rest. And then once you're done with that, then I think you can, go ahead and you can solve problems. Okay, I think I've already talked about it. Coding Ninja scores enough for FAANG. Yeah, I think it should be enough, but apart from that, you should keep coding. It should not be like once you're done with the course. Let's say you're doing trees, right? Or let's say you're doing graphs. So in graphs, you will get a couple of questions, but apart from that, you should keep practicing on Code Studio or Lead Code to make sure all the concepts that you've done in the course are now clear. So of course, that also is needed. So extra effort will be required. Apart from DSA, how much development we need to do? Apart from DSA development, इतना कर लो कि आपका project बन जाए. जो project you're creating, make sure that is unique in terms of how exactly it is impacting the society, or let's say there are a lot of projects on ML which are repeated in a lot of everyone repeats the same project again and again, but make sure you create something different. So to do that, I think you will need some time, but you can do it along with DSA also. That can be done. Okay, Aditya, I think I've already answered that. DSA is used in web development somehow. Actually, the logic might be used, yes, and there can be situations where it can be used. Yes, I'm learning Java, but don't know what I should do. Web development, Android, or should I go in DSM? Okay, so first of all, make sure data structures and algorithms are clear. Once you do that, come to oops. And after that, then if you are interested in web development, do that. So it depends on your interest also. Or if you're not able to find your interest, you can explore, right? Go on YouTube, explore what each of these is exactly, what all frameworks are needed in each. So you can talk about that. I mean, you can discuss that with your friends, and you have to see which framework you're really interested in, and then you move forward. So again, now I think one of them you should master. It's not like you should be, mastering all. One of them you can master, create a project. Also, if you're not able to, decide, then at least think, what can I do? I mean, think of a project, right? If you want to create an app for so and so purpose, then go for Android app development. So it also, it's not like always that, what you're interested in, that's what you're doing. If you're not interested in anything right now, think of what project you want to create, and then घुस जाओ उसमें. So do that particular thing. Okay. So besides DSA, what should be the knowledge of other things like React, Node, etc.? So now again, I think I've just answered that. It's important, apart from DSA, that one thing should be there, either web development or Android or ML, AI, blockchain, or competitive programming. One of those you should master, and it should be live somewhere that people can see that, okay, you're really, really into it. You know the concept, right? That is important. Um, Okay, so I think I want to join product-based companies. Please give me what should I do. So I think this whole live session was on the same thing for product-based companies only, right? So I think that's what I've talked about. What are the skills required? I've talked at the starting, and then we have also also seen how to apply for these and what to do after that, how the preparation is to be done. I think I'm already showcasing that. So this was pretty much about the same thing. Manvendra, so how I manage is basically, you know, I am also coding right now. I'm in fourth year, and I am also working. I mean, I'm yes teaching over here. I've done a course from Coding Ninjas, which helped me a lot, honestly. And yeah, I've been doing competitive programming as well. So I think all of that is manageable once you are into it. So it's you who have to decide, right? Do you want to get placed into other companies, or you want to go ahead do MTech, right? You want to give GATE. So it depends on you, and then accordingly you need to decide how should be your dedication, right? So I already did basics of Java, how to start DSA next. I think I've just it's showcased on the screen right now. Go ahead and start learning the concepts of DSA. If you want to take up a course, do that. Take up a course. Otherwise, what you can do is you can go and code. You can also see YouTube. On YouTube there are a lot of tutorials. Apart from a course, you can first learn the concept, and then you can go ahead and code on lead code of GSG or code studio. That depends on you now. So if you've solved many strings and arrays, still I'm not able to solve medium problems in lead code. I think that happens with all of us. So what you need to do is you need to first make sure that if you're getting a particular problem statement, don't literally start coding. If even if you've thought of the solution, sometimes it happens that you've thought of the solution, you're like, I'll start coding, I'll be able to code. No, sometimes that does not really happen. What you need to do is you need to first frame your algorithm or your logic in a particular notebook. Do the dry run first, and then start coding. I think that way you will be able to solve the medium problems also. You will be able to do that, so you can do it. So stay focused, right? After C++, should I go for Python to build projects for web development or app development? Now that's on you. I think if you already know C++, then do something in that. Or if you want to learn Python from scratch and then build projects, then I mean it's up to you. But what I will suggest is keep coding in C++. Let's say in competitive programming, keep coding over there, or keep your practice on Leap Code, GSG, or Code Studio, and then go ahead with probably web or app. I think that's up to you now. Okay. So is DSA lead code enough? Yes, DSA lead code is enough. As a matter of fact, it will give you a lot of knowledge, and you will be able to start, you will be able to solve a lot of questions on the coding rounds as well, in the coding rounds. That should be fine. Besides DSA, what should be the knowledge of other things? I think I've already answered this. Okay. Can we say CP is subset of DSA? Maybe, maybe not, because CP is a little more than just DSA. or actually we can say it's a subset, because in DSA whatever things we have, right, whatever is already there, the application of all of that is in CP, right? If we talk about a particular CP problem, sometimes people think that erasing ho jayega, but that's not really the case. DP is used, so DP is nothing but an it needs it's a part of DSA. So that's the thing. So it's all interrelated actually, but it's in CP, of course, it's DSA ka bada bhai, you can say, which gives a level ahead wala questions. So that should be fine. Does DSA is only way to enter big companies? Is there any other way to enter these companies apart from DSA? I think DSA is the most important of all that is required to enter these companies. Why? Because they look for a person who already knows DSA and who is able to solve the problems logically. So the logic building is also important. And DSA se na, whatever coding questions they have, you will be able to solve that. So that's the basic thing. If you know the basics, then you will be able to solve a particular problem, right? So that's the thing over here, right? So Rohit, I think I've already answered that. Coding Ninja course, yes, is enough. You need to code more on probably Lead Code or Code Studio after that, because एक बार course कर लिया, it's not like कि हाँ I have done craft के questions in the course, those are enough. No, you need to keep practicing that afterwards, right? um Okay, so e-commerce projects, right? So when I was talking about projects, I mentioned that there are a lot of repetitive projects, and what exactly happens is that these are already there, right? So think it's okay to add in your resume, but you shouldn't highlight this, right? You should be highlighting some project that you're very confident with and it is already live. So in your resume, make sure you highlight those projects. And while we are on the topic of resume, I'll also mention that let's say there are some skills, right? You're applying for Amazon, and that Amazon job position has particular so and so requirement. Then make sure, if you know Android and Android is the open position is related to Android, then make sure the Android wala skills are highlighted or at the top at least. So if those are highlighted, that will you know give a boost to your resume in order to get selected. So that should be done, right? Can I skip CPP for now? May I continue DSA with Java? You can, by CPP, do you mean competitive programming or C++? I'm assuming C++ because you said CPP. So CPP, yes, you can skip. If you're comfortable with Java, go ahead, continue DSA with Java. It is totally okay. How can I shift from front end to back end? So if you know front end already well and good, now what you need to do is you need to now that back end ka you're talking about. So back end courses you can take, which can help you with that. Or I mean, what backend you're talking about in Android or in web development. So that depends on you and which course you want to take tutorials, do that. And yes, you can shift from front end to back end. But I think there should be a proper roadmap given for this. So we can surely work on that. Yes. Yes, Rohit. Okay. I want to make a project on stock market price prediction. So this is a project. I think this is a stock market is a very, fascinating topic out there now. And when we talk about stock market price prediction, एक बार ना just search करना Google पे. There are already multiple projects created on this, and so many projects created on this. Yet there are not many projects which are accurate, right? Which have 99% accuracy right now. So if you're creating a project on stock market, then what you need to do is you need to make sure it is accurate enough and then it is used somewhere later on. It should not be like college के लिए आपने project बना लिया stock market price prediction, the HOD is like हाँ very good, and then after that it was not giving accurate results and it was not used anywhere. It should be like whatever you're doing right now should be published later on, or it should you can offer it to a particular company. So that you can do. So if you are making a project on stock market price prediction, make sure it is accurate. That's it. Do we need strong mathematical just to begin with? TSA are not really important. It's not. much important. I think it's okay if you are not very strong with maths, it can still be done. Um, I solved problem in Code Studio, but later I forgot the concept who to manage. I didn't really get your question. If you could probably retype and let me know. Um, okay. So then we have data structure and algorithm logic building. So what I'm getting from this particular comment is that how to enhance the logic building in DSA. So it will come from practice only. एक बार you start, concept is clear, practice से ही होगा. Practice, practice, practice. That is important. So I think, yeah. So IIT दिल्ली में फेसबुक नहीं आती है. What should I do? Apply off campus यार. सबके कॉलेज में सारी कंपनीज नहीं आती. They apply off campus. So apply off campus. Ask for referrals on LinkedIn. I've already talked about that previously. So that should be done. And वो करके if you're good in you're good enough for Facebook. If you're good at coding and everything. So I think you should be able to grab the position. Okay, so can I tell which topic we should start first and next, what next? I mean, the way that covers all. Okay, so basically, first in DSA, I think I just talked about that. So what you can do is you can start with arrays and strings, then go for sorting. Then I think before sorting, you can also do recursion. So all of that can be done, and then go for DP, right? Greedy, you can do, and then you go ahead with graphs, right? And backtracking also. I think that should be a good way. And when we talk about topic wise, right, there are a lot of topics which I might not be saying right now. I might have missed one or two. So what you can do is go ahead, search for DSA roadmap. I think it's in the description below as well. You can go ahead and see that, and that will cover everything. And make sure you keep coding on lead code while you're doing so. Okay. Is Coding Ninja good for CP? To be very honest, I myself have taken a course of competitive programming from Coding Ninjas earlier. So I think it's brilliant actually. If you stay focused, it's brilliant. And if you stay disciplined enough, you will be able to, you will be able to solve very well the competitive programming contests, and in the code chef or code forces you will be able to do that, because whatever topics are there in coding ninjas, all of that can solve a lot of questions, so you will be able to do very well, and the mentors are very helpful. Is internship important? Yeah, yes and no, because let's say you've not done any internship, make sure the projects are done very well, right? So it should just internship, what it tells is you have experience, hands-on experience in a particular thing, in a particular framework or anything. So that way internship plays a role कि ठीक है वहां पे आपने technical experience you have done. So yeah. um, okay, Uday, I've already answered that. What is more played role, front end, back end, or full stack? It depends. It's not like only full stack is good or back end or front end only. Every other, there are a lot of job positions out there. So with full stack, you can apply to any. And for front end, there are specific positions, and back end also there are specific positions. Now that depends on you, what you are comfortable with and what you're doing. Okay, so मैंने कैसे DSA complete किया? Coding Ninja DSA course से या from somewhere else. So what I did is I did competitive programming course, in that also a lot of things were covered. But what I used to do is when I was in second year and I had data structures as my subject, then my professor was good enough, and she used to always explain things very well. And what I used to do is I whenever we had the lab class, I didn't talk to other people. What I did was I used to code the same thing, actually whatever was done in the class. And when I went back home, I used to also code more on the other platforms. So first in the class itself or in the lab, what I used to do is कि ठीक है उन्होंने लिंक लिस्ट को कैसे रिवर्स करना है अगर वो बता दिया, या लिंक ये तो नहीं बताते. आई थिंक इन डीएस इन क्लास व्हाट दे टेल इज कि लिंक लिस्ट क्या होता है. आई सेड लिंक्डइन राइट, सॉरी। सो लिंक्ड लिस्ट क्या होता है ये बता देते हैं। तो अब मैंने ये समझ लिया लिंक्ड लिस्ट क्या होता है, कैसे एक लिंक्ड लिस्ट फॉर्म होती है, कैसे क्या क्या होता है, वो कर लिया। आफ्टर दैट आई यूज्ड टू गो बैक होम, आई यूज्ड टू ओपन गीक्स फॉर गीक्स, और मैं प्रैक्टिस करती रहती थी कि लिंक्ड लिस्ट के क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस कर लूं। सो दैट्स व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू फॉर डीएसए, not just in one concept, in all actually. So okay, is DSA enough for to enter a product-based company? So I think that's what I just talked about. Apart from DSA, you should have one thing in hand, be it Android, web development, computer programming, or MLAI, all of that. So लेकिन जो भी आप उसमें करते हो, उसका project बनाते हो, वो आपका live हो, बस इतना है. Can I start with blockchain? Of course, go ahead, start with blockchain. That's good. But before that, I mean code. Okay. So okay, so I don't have any internship and I don't have time to get one. What type of self project should I create to mention in CV? Web development or Android development? Now that depends on you, web development or Android development, because जो भी आप करते हो that should be live now. Because if you are saying self project, it should be something which is already live, कि वो एक impact छोड़े आपके resume में. अगर आपका live है तो they can just click on the link and they can see that yeah, he has actually done this particular project, right? So of course that should be there, and you should be well versed with what you've done. Okay. So you're a mechanical engineer graduate working in Infosys, want to join Google, give me step-by-step path. So I've just talked about that, Yogesh, the step-by-step path, what you need to do, how, what all skills you need to do, how to prepare for those skills, and technical stuff I've told. Apart from that, the soft skills you should have is basically confidence. So if you have the confidence in you, you will be able to answer everything. And there's one more thing actually, for the soft skills, right? For the HR round questions, there's this thing on LinkedIn actually. You will be able to see what all, how when they say, tell me about yourself, what really you need to tell. All of that I think is there. So you can go check that out also. So after that, once you're done, you're ready, you can apply to Google. So all of that I've just talked about in this live video. Maths is where you struggle. Is CP? Yeah, actually, competitive programming does require math, but not a lot of it. If you are good at DSA, you will be able to solve many questions, because there are questions जिसमें particular data structure is required, but sometimes math से वो जल्दी solve हो जाता है. So it should be okay. But again, logic building ठीक कर लो, practice से हो जाएगी. How to manage time for DSA and development with college. So alternate day DSA, alternate day development. So I think your institution is only managing it for you. Spend alternate timing, right? Alternate day spend career, it's okay. But let's say if you're practicing DSA in college once, come home and practice development. I think that should be fine. Okay, so I'm not able to solve a question at lead code in the beginning. I think what you need to do is you need to practice. I've talked about this. I think I've already answered a similar question. So what you need to do, Ritika, is you have to basically stay focused, stay consistent. A question nahi ho raha hai. ठीक है, spend 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours on that if you want, with breaks in between, of course. If you're still not able to solve that, move to the next question. Maybe the logic hits you while you're just about to sleep. So that happens. So of course that can be done. And yeah, you'll be able to solve questions. I solved problem in Code Studio, but later I forgot the concept of how to manage. I think I saw the same comment. I didn't understand the comment, but if you solve a problem in Code Studio and later you forget the concept, what you need to do is you need to see your solution back, and I think you'll be able to get the concept again. But again, I'll repeat: dry run first. Make sure you write your whatever your algorithm is, or whatever your logic is. Write it first somewhere in a notebook, and then start coding. Number theory and iterative DB questions are really important for Amazon Microsoft. Yes, actually, DB questions are. Number theory is because some part of number theory is very important, but not very, very much. I think DP kar lo, that should be fine. Number theory ka you can skip a little bit, but it's important. how much time is required for DSA from scratch along with a job? I think mm, 3 months if you're dedicated enough. If you're already doing a job, probably you know some basics already. If you know basics already, it should be fine. Otherwise, in I mean, it should be fine if you spend 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day. It should be good, uh, uh, considering you know the basics. So once how to keep them in track, of course. Now, this is, I think, a brilliant question, and I think everyone might have faced this one way or the other. But what you need to do is you need to go back, practice one question at least from that particular concept. Let's say you have, you're doing graphs, or let's say you're doing anything, right? Then you forget what linked list was. Go, to linked list concepts and at least solve one particular problem on that. You will be able to keep a track of everything and just move ahead along with that. Okay, so how many questions we need to I think I've already answered mostly all. What is important, a DSA and development, or DSA or development? I think both are important. DSA in terms of DSA is important first, of course, and then you do development that is important. Mm, Yes, actually, Rajat, you can do that. You will be able to get a job after a year gap. I think that's not an issue. So just go ahead, apply. So how many project on resumes will be ideal? Now, it's not like ठीक है project इतने बनाने हैं तो आप कहीं से भी copy paste करके लगा दो. Project you make 2 projects at least if both are live. That's well and good. So make sure whatever your skill is, that is shown in your project, right? That is important. That is the main thing. AI and ML students crack top companies. According to me, DSA जिसको आता है, those crack top companies. So, but again, of course, AI ML का we are seeing a lot of requirements now. So if you are able to do it, well and good. Otherwise, otherwise also people do get the top companies. So Shubham is saying that he's in 4th year और C++ with DSA complete कर ली है Coding Ninja से. आगे क्या करूँ for placement in Amazon? So for that, now again, since you've already done DSA course, start programming on LeetCode, right? Or Code Studio, you can program on that as well. And after that, what you need to do is apply, right? Apply, create the projects. So once your projects are ready, resume is ready, make sure you apply now. So it should be good. All the best. Is a GFG self-paced course good for a beginner? I have not really done that, so I can't be very sure. But again, according to me, whatever is self-paced now, उसमें discipline बहुत कम आता है. According to me, now it's on you if you're able to keep your discipline. That is good. But mostly, if we have some deadline कि इतने में आपको ये complete करना है, तब आपका हो जाता है complete. Self-paced में हमेशा you lag. ऑनलाइन एग्जाम था तो कुछ नहीं पढ़ा. किसी ने भी नहीं पढ़ा था, राइट? सो अब लास्ट ईयर आ रहा है, क्या करूँ फॉर बेस्ट प्लेसमेंट? इफ लास्ट ईयर इज कमिंग, बेस्ट प्लेसमेंट चाहिए, अभी से स्टार्ट कर दो. DSA तो स्टार्ट कर ही दो, उसके बाद प्रोजेक्ट्स बना लो इफ यू गेट टाइम, एंड देन अप्लाई देयर आर लॉट ऑफ ऑफ कैंपस ऑन कैंपस प्लेसमेंट, सो यू विल बी एबल टू स्कोर. एक बार कोडिंग सही कर लो, DSA करके हो जाएगी, दैट्स फॉर श्योर. प्रैक्टिस करते रहो कि लॉजिक बन जाए, राइट? सो पहले DSA का कोर्स पूरा देख लूँ CN वाला, और साथ साथ पैरेलल ही क्वेश्चन लगानी है. वेट, ही क्वेश्चन लगानी है, और लगानी है तो कहाँ से लगानी है ताकि डिस्ट्रैक्ट ना हो तरह तरह के मटेरियल से. प्लीज कमेंट. ओके, सो या सो इफ यू हैव डन द कोर्स DSA का, उसके बाद आपको पैरेलली क्वेश्चंस भी सॉल्व करने हैं. सो देन go ahead. I think distract तो आप नहीं होगे अगर आपको करना ही है. Again, as I mentioned, consistency and discipline, right? So that's the main thing over here. Consistency and discipline तो आपको रखना ही पड़ेगा to get a good placement. Which are required to second year students to get internship. Second year students to get internship, I think second year में हो अभी तो आपको skills अपनी polish करो, polish your skills first, create some good projects, and then keep applying for the internship. How? Okay, Adi. Which are requirements? I think I've already answered this. इतने अच्छे से फ्लुएंसी कैसे कर लिया आपने? I think I'll thank my school for that because my school always focused on spoken English, so I'll thank my school for that. But apart from that, I think it's just me. So then there's, I think I have already answered all the questions. So okay, any trick to master DFS and matrix for Amazon preparation? So, Shobit, on this, I will suggest first of all concept clear कर लो, ठीक है? उसके बाद practice कर लो because practice on go to Code Studio and I think you will get a lot of questions on this. So, yeah, so go ahead for that. But again, concept clear कर लेना पहले. How much time daily you need to do competitive programming? So first of all, contests करो. Daily तो contest नहीं होते, but then whenever there are, do those contests. And apart from that, lead code पे practice करा करो. You will be able to get better at competitive programming. Is there any preferred language for DSA? I've got a lot of questions like this. No, there's no preferred language. If you're comfortable with C++, go ahead with that. If you're comfortable with Java or Python, go ahead with that. There's no compulsion. But then preferred, if you say, if it's like personally, I prefer C++ and Java is also fine. Python में एक्चुअली क्या होता है ना कि जावा में जैसे स्टैक की बात करते हैं तो उसमें बहुत सारे बिल्ट इन वो भी आ जाते हैं तो वो लोग यूज कर लेते हैं बट देन द इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग इज कि डेटा स्ट्रक्चर में आपको बेसिक से करना चाहिए सो आई थिंक सी प्लस प्लस इज गुड सी से भी कर सकते हो अगर आपको इन डेप्थ नॉलेज करनी है तो where we can search for off-campus opportunities in product-based companies. I think this is a really, really nice question. So, to search, basically, तो career portals पे जाओ आपको Amazon पे apply करना है, go for the career portal of that. And of course, किसी पे भी करना है career portal पे जाके directly apply करो. Otherwise, there's Naukri.com, Monster, right? All of those sites where they give you all the opportunities ka list, so you can apply there as well. But keep applying on the career portals. Keep a check of that. What are the open positions? Apply over there, and ask for referrals on LinkedIn. That's also important because referrals, you get an edge. So that's important. Yes, Kalyani, I am speaking in English also. About to enter fourth year, don't know coding. कितना time लगेगा? Placement started at college. So see, so if you have entered a fourth year, now start coding rigorously, right? So just code and solve DSA so that at least you're able to solve the coding questions, the coding round in your college placements or off-campus placements. Again, after that, you can. I mean, in college placements, I think resume ka not much role is played. So, उसमें आपका project का, of course, they will ask, but project, I think you must have already done a minor one in the third year. So, I think it should be okay. Yes, you are eligible for product based if you are in tier 3 college. Which part you should follow for DSA? I think there's this roadmap in the description. I think go look for that for tier 3 college or which way you should, code. And in DSA, I have already told कि क्या क्या topics आपको करने चाहिए and apart from that, tier 3 में of course college placements के लिए आती नहीं है ये companies, the product based companies usually. So what you need to do is apply off campus में कैसे companies के career portal पे जाके I've already talked about that. So go check the career portals, what all are the job openings right now, and then apply over there, right? And ask for referrals. And if your skills are good enough, you will surely get a product-based company. It's not like tier 3 se ho, so you will not be getting, you will get that. Yes, my name is Shruti Goswami. Yes, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Yes. Does 12th matter after B.Tech? Sometimes, yes, some placement, some companies do ask कि 60% से ज़्यादा you need at least in 10th, 12th, and in B.Tech. So some stuff like that. So it's important for some companies. It's not important for all, I will say, Vivek. So this was your comment, right? So Gulshan is saying that he's in third year and from now to crack top company, please. What should I do from now? Whatever I've told in this video, you should start doing that from now to crack a top company. Last 1 month guide to crack Amazon. I think yesterday we had a live video on 90 days to crack Amazon, right? But to get an Amazon placement. But I think if you're able to do that in 1 month, well and good. I think go ahead with that. All the best to you. Okay, so yes, Anand, you can do that. Make sure you're good at coding also. So you can do that, of course. Okay, so if आप भूल जाते हो after doing the questions, what you need to do is you need to go back, revise them with time at times. Let's say you're forgetting in 2 days, go back and see. So I think that's what you need to do. I've already answered that. That if you're doing greedy and you've forgotten what recursion was or what linked list was, go back and do one question from that at least. Okay. So app development or Android development में कौन better है? Both are same Android app development. So I don't understand. Okay, so okay, so you're doing Python in college, but you're interested in Java, then go ahead, see the Java tutorials and start coding in Java if you're interested in Java. It's really nice, and start doing BSA with that. Um, about the roadmap, I'll surely take care of that. Probably next time I'll come up with that. Uh, both are good. B plus one if you're interested. If you're a fresher, you're good at. If you want to code in Java or C++, both are good. Go ahead with anyone. That's not a thing. Um, okay, so how to avoid procrastination? So to avoid that, I can't really say anything, but keep your phone aside. That's one thing, and just लग जाओ यार. I don't really have an answer to that honestly, because sometimes that happens with all actually. That happens with me at times. That happens with everyone. So procrastination is okay, but that should not become a habit at the end, right? Okay, so Kalyani, I've already talked about the skills that you require to get placed into product-based companies. So I've already talked about that. And okay, so is DSA sufficient to crack product-based company or web development is also required? DSA is sufficient, but if you know web development also with that, then you must have done any project. You should have done any project in that, and then that project should be live, right? That's if it is live, it is good. I'm not saying कि live होना ही चाहिए. आप project बना तो live होना ही चाहिए. Live होगा, it's good. Otherwise, आप GitHub पे बस code डाल दो, it should be working, right? That is fine. Can we code in Python for Amazon? Yes, you can code in Python for Amazon. It is okay. It is very good. And yeah, Python, Java, C++, I think that does not matter. Uh, yes, sure. With matrix is crucial. It's not like there are a lot of topics which are asked. So matrix is crucial, of course. मैं C++ से कोडिंग सीख रहा हूँ अब yeah, demotivation is one thing that happens with all of us. So what you should do is you should stay calm at least, and then go back, see the previous questions again and again, like probably like whenever we are learning something, right? If we are learning ABC in when we were in KG, if we were learning ABC, हमारे parents, what they used to do is they used to just put up a chart over there and used to say A for apple, B for boy. ये तो हम करते रहते थे, right? So same way when we are learning any new thing, what we need to do is we need to make sure that is live in front of us all the time, and we are keep getting something. So probably if you're doing stack and queues, so उसका आप तो मतलब कैसे कैसे सब कुछ हो रहा है push and pop वो आप लिख लो कहीं पे and then keep revising that if you want, right? That way you can do. So anything which we are learning, any new thing, you need to always go back and revise once, and then you will be able to do. From where we learn free coding, there are a lot of YouTube tutorials where you can learn free coding. If we talk about DSA in C++, DSA in Java, it's already there on Coding Ninja's YouTube now, and you can go ahead and learn from that. And while you're doing that, कोडिंग तो नहीं सीखोगे, आप कॉन्सेप्ट सीखोगे कोडिंग के. कोडिंग करना आपके प्रैक्टिस पे डिपेंड करता है, which you can do when you go for go for lead code or code studio, geeks, all of that, and practice over there, and make sure you don't see the solution first. First try to solve it yourself. um from Code with Harry. Yeah, Code with Harry is also a really nice platform. You can a YouTube thing, right? So you can go ahead and see that. What is the best language to learn for the big companies? For the top companies, anything Python, C++, or Java, anything works. The logic building should be there. How much English speaking is important in communication skill? For communication, speak English is important. No, your confidence is important. If you're good at Hindi, talk in Hindi, it's okay. It should not be like English में ही बात करनी है and टूटी फूटी English बोल रहे हो, which is okay. But your confidence is important. If you have confidence, if you're confident enough, speak anything that you want and it will go out well. So yeah. Yes, companies do allow to code in Python during coding rounds. Considering that they have not mentioned specific that this is a C++ one or a Java one. There are times when they just mention C++ and Java. But Python is allowed otherwise. Career camp, career camp is important. I mean, helpful. Yes, of course, it is. I'm unable to see long-term future in IT. Am I short-sighting? Please correct me. There is a long-term future in IT, as I feel, and I have friends from other like commerce in all of those fields, and they themselves say that yeah, it's good that you're in IT because there's a lot of future. So everyone sees future. I think you're short-sighting. Yes, so there's a long-term future over there. Okay. Projects are not very much compulsory. If a candidate is good at DSA, it is sufficient to, that's yes, true. But if you have project that gives an edge that yeah, project here, the student knows, or the person knows that how to implement something into a proper application thing. So that's good. Um, okay, how to build logic for coding? I think लॉजिक बिल्डिंग कम्स अगेन विद प्रैक्टिस. सो पहले पहले तो मेरे को भी नहीं होता था, मुझसे भी नहीं होता था इन फर्स्ट ईयर. ऑनेस्टली आई डिडंट हैव कंप्यूटर साइंस इन 11th and 12th. By the way, I had economics, and after that I could solve questions once I practiced. So I started practicing and I practiced a lot, and then after that I was able to that okay, now I can do the questions. So yes, that can be done. And Aniket, I've already answered this earlier, so you can check that out. It's not very important, but they do ask some questions here and there. Can you suggest online? Wait a second, I missed that. As I'm learning new DS, but forget the old DS data structure. Okay, so that's what I mentioned, right? Go and solve at least one problem. Let's say if it's linked list that you're forgetting, go and solve that. What to say in interview when I only know brute force approach. Brute force approach समझा दो and say that I know this right now and I think this will work well. But of course, there are other ways to solve it. So be honest enough, right? Don't beat around the bush. So be honest. Tell them that it is to be done, and I think that should be fine. Um, okay, I think I've answered almost all the relevant questions over here. Yeah, so I think thanks a lot for watching this thing. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you understood how to crack a dream company, crack your dream company, right? And yeah, I think it should be fine. So all the best. Thanks a lot. Bye. Take care.